that was a cool place to go to a baseball game. It really was. And my favorite seat was actually in right field in the upper deck around the foul pole because it hung over the field.
Oh.
And, I mean, you sit up there, you feel like you're looking at home plate, and it feels like it's like right below you.
Wow.
Because it's a short porch. Mm-hmm. It was an amazing place.
We're talking with KTLA midday anchor Glen Walker. You can find him on X at Glen Walker KTLA. That's Glen with one N, Walker KTLA. Now, last time we discussed his time in Buffalo and how it led him to the West Coast and Prime Ticket Sports Channel in Los Angeles. Now, Prime Ticket was after you were at the Buffalo station. I remember that's where I actually first saw you was Prime Ticket, usually on the press box with either Alan Massengale or
Larry Burnett.
Or
Bill McDonald.
That's
even
right,
Bill McDonald. Bill McDonald and I used to have so much fun together anchoring that show. He says, every time I do a highlight with a home run, I'm going to say fresh snow. I'm like, what? And he did it. Fresh snow. I'm like, okay.
Alan Massengale was work.
Yeah. Now, Alan and I, we had a lot of history because when I was in Panama City, he was at the other station.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then he went to Jacksonville. I went to Buffalo. And then he went to Jacksonville, and then he gets a job at ESPN. I was a little envious.
Yeah.
And then he gets a job in Miami. And then we both ended up at Prime Ticket.
Yeah. Now, who was the owner of Prime Ticket?
Okay, so the owner was Bill Daniels, who actually created cable television, and Jerry Buss.
Wow.
Yeah, because we televised the Lakers and the Kings games. That was their main, how they started out. And then they brought in John Severino.
Oh, yeah.
Who had run
KABC,
and he actually had run, the ABC station in Chicago. So they brought him in, and he brought all these people with him, Don Corsini, as the program director, and that's when they started Press Box. He wanted to expand and make it a bigger thing. So we had, we had Press Box, and we started the first show. Alan and Larry anchored, and I was at the Game 1 of the World Series in Cincinnati between the A's and the Reds.
Oh, yeah.
Which ended up being a 4-game sweep.
Everybody thought the Athletics were going to be the team.
Oh, yeah. They were, because they'd won it the year before, and that's when they had
Jose Canseco
and Mark McGwire. I mean, they were like an unbelievable team. But, I remember the Reds stole the first game, and they won the second game, and they came out here, and they just swept them away. I mean, it's like, he's never had a chance. But it's kind of a good thing. The guys I were with, I said, well, it's a good thing that it was a 4-game sweep because we probably wouldn't have made it to the 7th game because we were partying too much between games. We had a good time in Cincinnati and the San Francisco area for that week, to say the least. I was much younger then, not married. It was an awesome time.
The Cincinnati chili dogs. What was the special chili they have in Cincinnati?
Skyline chili.
Skyline chili. That's right.
Yeah. And my father was born right across the river, and my grandfather used to work at the First National Bank of Cincinnati. So my grandparents were big Reds fans.
Oh, okay.
So it was kind of cool to go to the World Series, and and they were still alive then. So I called, hey, guess what? I'm at Riverfront Stadium covering the World Series. They thought that was cool.
Did you go in front of the fountain on WKRP in Cincinnati's opening credits?
I think I saw it, but I don't know.
If I ever go to Cincinnati, that's one place I want to go is in front of that fountain because I love that show.
Yeah, I was there for that, and when I was in Buffalo, I covered the AFC Championship game between the Bills and the Bengals one year.
Oh, wow.
The Bills should have won that game, and they got blown out.
Yeah, they were like 4 Super Bowls in a row.
4 in a row, and they all happened while I was out here.
Oh, man.
But I went to the first one. They lost in Tampa. Covered that. And the second one was in Minnesota. We just Prime Ticket for some reason we didn't cover that one. And then the third one was at the Rose Bowl.
Oh, okay.
And so I covered that one. And it was great because I had the general manager on our show, and Andre Reed, who I'm still friends with today. He lives down in San Diego.
Oh, okay.
And then the next one was in Atlanta. And I was just going to go because by this time my now ex-wife, she worked for the Raiders, so we had tickets. and I was taking time off to go, and then they Prime Ticket decided at the last minute that they were wanted me to cover the game, and I go, well, yeah, you paid for my plane ticket. I was staying at a friend's house, so that wasn't a problem.
Yeah.
But God, to lose 4 in a row like that, and the thing is the one at the Rose Bowl was over, and the game was over in the first quarter or by halftime, and then the one in Atlanta, they actually had the lead at the half, but I remember James Washington, who had played at UCLA, I think he scooped up a fumble or an interception, ran it back for a touchdown. I personally thought he was going to be the MVP of the game because he made 2 big plays in that game, but it ended up being what was their running back? Emmitt Smith.
Oh, okay.
But to see that team lose 4 in a row like that, it was just like, and that was it. There was no way they were going back after 4.
No, I mean Marv Levy, he's going to turn 100 years old soon, and I guess the question is, are they going to win it for Marv this year? Type of thing.
Well, let me tell you something. That is the best fan base I've ever seen. I root for them. I want them to win it. Even if they're playing the Rams, it's still going to be kind of hard for me to root against the Bills. But that fan base, you walk down the street on a Monday, the day after a game, you can tell if the Bills won the day before just by the way people are acting. They're so their identity of that town is so wrapped up into that team. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, you were in Buffalo for 6 years at the NBC affiliate.
CBS.
Oh, CBS affiliate. Okay. WIVB.
WIVB.
And, was that the local home of the Buffalo Bills?
Well, we were CBS affiliate, but Van Miller, who was the voice of the Bills on radio, and the radio station was right down the hall from us, WBEN Radio. And the TV station actually used to be called WBEN. They were owned by the same people. Then they had separate ownership. Radio station kept the original call letters. But we did a lot. We were live from training camp every day. And I remember when I came out here, I go, hey, say, we're going to the Raiders and Rams training camp, and it was like, yeah, we'll go out there one day before the season. I go, that's it? They go, yeah. I go, okay. I was shocked. But, the thing is, in this town, you got 2 of everything. And baseball season is a baseball season. Until the football season gets going, nobody pays attention. It is what it is. It's a completely different mindset. But there, it's like because you got the Buffalo Sabres and the Buffalo Bills and a AAA baseball team. They cover that, even the AAA team, during baseball season. They'll cover it. They're there with the highlights every day and on the newscast. But man, once the Bills start playing, it's like they kind of forget about the AAA baseball team. Are they going to make the playoffs of the American? Who cares?
They probably have a different name now than they did when you were there. Is my guess.
They were the Buffalo Bisons.
Buffalo Bisons.
Yeah,
wow.
And what's cool is the first couple of years I was there, they played at War Memorial Stadium, which is the stadium they shot The Natural in, and they had a short porch like Fenway. They had a short porch, but it was in right field. So they had a media pitch hit and run contest a couple of years when I was there, and it was just hitting a ball off a tee, but I hit it off the top of the screen.
Wow!
And we won.
Is that stadium still there?
No, they tore it. They still use the field. It's like that stadium's been completely torn down, and now Rich Stadium, the last game there is going to be on Sunday.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, they're building a new stadium right across the street.
Wow.
That'll be ready for next year.
A lot of new minor league ballparks, especially in Southern California. The new OCN, I think it's called, or I forget what it's called, OAN Park in Ontario, the home of the Tower Buzzers, which is the Dodgers' new single-A affiliate. And I saw the construction the other day. I'm like, oh my gosh, they're going to have a chevron-shaped scoreboard like at Dodger Stadium.
Yeah, they went from Rancho Cucamonga to Ontario.
Yeah.
But those building those nice minor league ballparks, that actually started in Buffalo because they built, back then it was called Pilot Field. And I think by this time they were a Pittsburgh Pirates affiliate then, and opening day at that stadium, we actually won awards for our coverage that day. But what they did is the owner, you've heard of Rich Dairy Products, okay? So the owner team, Bob Rich Jr. They're a very influential family in town, so they built this new stadium downtown Buffalo. But he asked them, HOK, the architects, to have it blend in with the architecture of that part of town, which there was a couple of government buildings and county building and some others. So it's like this old retro ballpark on the outside. It limestone, really nice, and it had what would be a club level, which was their upper deck, and it had a copper roof. And of course they're always pushing, we're going to get a major league team, and if they took the roof off and put another upper deck in, it would look just like Royal Stadium.
Wow.
Yeah, like Kauffman Field or whatever they call it now.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they're moving.
I know, it's kind
The
of hard
Chiefs
to believe.
and the Royals are both leaving that complex.
I know the Chiefs definitely are. I'm not sure what the situation is with the Royals. I know that there's talk about that too, but
yeah, they want to. Their push for them is to go downtown Kansas City. I think. I don't know if that's going to work out, but I mean, it's funny that the Kansas City Chiefs are moving to Kansas, but it's called Kansas City, Kansas. It's like sister cities with the same name. I mean, listen, in New York, the Jets and the Giants both play in New Jersey.
Exactly.
It's right across the river. It's not that big a deal.
In fact, it was funny. I knew a couple who lived in the Big Apple for many years, but they said we root for the Bills because they actually play in New York State, unlike the Giants and the Jets. In fact, there was talk about calling. Well, I was kind of surprised that they changed the name of the Nets to the Brooklyn Nets because they'll probably keep the name New Jersey Nets, not New York Nets like they were originally, but. I guess definitely makes more sense Brooklyn Nets because Brooklyn hasn't been shown much love in many years anyway.
Yeah, true.
Especially since the Dodgers.
Boy, and you know what's funny is when I worked in New York, there were people that were still convinced that if they would just build a stadium, the Dodgers would come back. And I would laugh. I go, "You've obviously never been to Dodger Stadium."
No.
I said, they turn the lights on and 30,000 people show up just to see what's going on.
Yeah.
Dodgers are never coming back home. Sorry. But what's ironic is the arena that the Nets play in is at the exact location where O'Malley wanted to build a new baseball stadium.
Wow.
Yeah. But what happened is Shea Stadium in Queens, that's where the guy that ran I can't remember the guy's name. Anyway, he insisted that was where it was going to be built. And he was in charge of all that, and he was almost like a czar.
Oh yeah.
Whatever he said went, and if that's where they were going to build it, and that's when O'Malley said, "Well, if we moved to Queens, they would no longer be the Brooklyn Dodgers. They'd be the Queens Dodgers, and that's not acceptable."
Yeah, that would have been weird.
Which is good for us.
Yeah, exactly.
They're here. We would have eventually gotten a team anyway, but hey. But it's funny because my father-in-law, I mean, he's 90 years old. He used to go to games at Wrigley Field and the old Wrigley Field here in L.A.
Oh, wow.
Used to see there was Wrigley Field was down in South L.A., and then there was another baseball stadium where
Television City, and
I guess there was two stadiums there. It was a Gilmore Field.
Yeah, Gilmore Field
for
was
football, and there was I can't remember what the baseball stadium was, but he used to go to games there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Wrigley Field on the West Coast looked a lot like the one in Chicago, from what I heard. And looking at pictures, it does kind of look the same. I mean, it's kind of interesting to think about that. And then Citi Field in Queens looks a lot like Ebbets Field.
Yeah, they've tried to make the outside look like they recreate that.
Even the Jackie Robinson Rotunda, they got the same type of floor surface in that rotunda like they have the one at Ebbets Field. And then even the light fixtures with the baseball lamp covers made of glass. In fact, there's a place called Gate B in Denver. It's run by an attorney named Bruce B. Hellerstein. B owns the building, and so a little part of the building he decided to make this baseball museum with all this memorabilia and pieces of old baseball stadiums that no longer exist, from Crosley Field, Connie Mack Stadium, and even some old Yankee Stadium wooden seats.
Yeah.
And it's just a sight to behold. Plus, he's got a picture of Babe Ruth having a pose with a female baseball player when the female team beat the male team in this exhibition game. And you just see the look on Babe Ruth's face, just like, oh gosh, I don't want to be in this picture at all. But it was just so cool. And he also has one of the old Ebbets Field light fixtures that's shaped like a baseball, and as well as in one of the old ticket windows there. And so it's nice to see people actually pulled it out and preserved it. I wish they'd done the same with Yankee Stadium. There was a movement to at least preserve Gate 4, which was the least affected with the renovations in the 70s, but then they ended up bulldozing it anyway. And people were just like,
I hated to see that. I mean, they did a good job in the 70s of renovating the stadiums, so it would last a couple of more decades. That was a cool place to go to a baseball game. It really was. And my favorite seat was actually in right field in the upper deck around the foul pole because it hung over the field.
Oh.
And, I mean, you sit up there, you feel like you're looking at home plate, and it feels like it's like right below you.
Wow.
Because it's a short porch. Mm-hmm. It was an amazing place. I think the only ballpark I've been to that I thought was cooler than that was like old-style ballpark was Tiger Stadium in Detroit.
Oh, yeah.
The Tigers trained in my hometown, and I was covering the NHL draft when I was in Buffalo when a bunch of us went to a game on a Friday night. Mm-hmm. I spent most of the game walking around because I knew all about the stadium but had never been there.
Yeah.
And the game, geez, they were playing the Red Sox. Roger Clemens was pitching. and Kirk Gibson, Alan Trammell, Lou Whitaker on that Tiger team, and they all hit home runs that night. There was a lot of home runs in that game. And it was just a cool old ballpark.
They used that ballpark for the Billy Crystal movie 61.
Yeah.
And he made it both Tiger Stadium, Yankee Stadium, built a big green monster replica to be Fenway Park. And then I think he used a couple parks out here to be Baltimore Memorial Stadium. I forget which one he used. But he did a great job. Plus with Tiger Stadium, he just CGI'd the third level with the copper frieze. And you thought really it was Yankee Stadium.
You know, when the old Yankee Stadium, when they renovated it, they forgot to put that up. And they said, if you remember, it was out in center field on that wall. It's like, we forgot to put that up.
Is that what happened?
Yeah. They just flat out forgot.
Oh,
because the dimension, because literally what they did with Yankee Stadium then is it still had the same steel beams. The frame of the ballpark was exactly the same. They just tore it down pretty much to the steel girders and kept all the same steel girders. But it was funny because when I was working in New York, some of those girders would rust and there'd be a chunk of steel would like this big from the middle of one of those girders, which would just rust out and fall. Oh, and that's when they kind of said we need a new ballpark. Yeah,
because it was beyond renovation, beyond fixing up.
They would have to go play at Shea Stadium or something until they did it. So
I remember,
and they did that once already and didn't want to do it again.
Yeah, I remember they wanted to originally tear down and then rebuild exactly where it had been.
Yeah.
The new stadium. The new one I noticed kind of takes the best of the two versions.
Yeah.
Like the lime sandstone exterior with a copper lettering.
Huge concourses.
Oh, yeah.
Behind the stands.
And then, just, of course, the copper frieze is back where it belongs at the top of the seeing bowl. And then Monument Park is back in the center instead of on the side. Although it's not in the field of play anymore. But I went to the original Yankee Stadium back in 2006, and it was pretty cool going to Monument Park, just looking at all this history and just the fans. Where they were playing the Red Sox and said, "Oh my goodness gracious!" They were just hounding the Red Sox fans. It made the Dodger-Giant rivalry seem tame in comparison.
Oh yeah, it's pretty vicious. I tell you, I had a lot of fun covering that team. When they were winning those championships with Torrey as the manager.
Oh yeah,
but that first year, Derek Jeter. His rookie year, they opened in Cleveland, and they got rained out, so they played the next day. But I went to the hotel. I was there, so I had to come up with something. So I go to the hotel and interview him, and then after his first game, opening day, starting shortstop for the Dodgers, and the Dodgers and the Mets both had new rookie shortstops, Ray Ordonez and Derek Jeter, and so it was kind of a big deal. He hits a home run. Had an RBI double, made a couple of nice plays in the hole, and made an over-the-head catch, Willie Mays style catch in shallow left field.
Wow.
And the Yankees won the game. David Cohn was the starting pitcher, complained about his fingers being numb because of the cold, but it was the aneurysm thing, turned out to be.
Oh, no.
But I grabbed Jeter coming off the field, interviewed him on the steps of the dugout. I said, hey, wow, you must be really excited about your start. He was even keel, and it was it's kind of, this is what I'm here, this is why I expect this of myself. there's a fine line between being confident and cocky and arrogant. He was right on that line. And he walked away, and I looked at the photographer, and I go, I don't know about the Mets shortstop, but that kid's going to be the Rookie of the Year. And sure enough, he was Rookie of the Year. They won the World Series. And the night they won the World Series, I was live at the stadium on the 6 o'clock news and basically taped an interview with him, ran it to the truck, fed the video back, and then the same thing. He goes, I said, wow, you guys lost the first 2 games here. You went 3 in Atlanta. I said, you got 2 games to win it. And he goes, it's over tonight. And it was. And that guy, he was like the toast of the town when I was in New York.
Yeah, I mean, the pretty face and the confidence.
Oh, he had it all. He just had that aura, and that this guy's a winner. And and he was always accommodating the media, but it's like they say, he would say a lot without saying anything. He never said anything controversial. Mm-hmm. And they made him team captain his second year.
Wow.
I mean, that's how much his teammates thought of him.
And then after Bob Shepard died, he continued using Bob Shepard's announcement of him each time he went to bat, which I thought that was the most shocking thing to me when I went to Yankee Stadium. It was like, oh my gosh, there's no music playing in the background. There's no fanfare. The announcer's just, he's announcing the home team the exact same way he's announcing the visiting team.
Yeah. It's like, now batting, number 2, Derek Jeter. Number 2, Jeter.
In fact, I think a lot of when Bob Shepard died, a lot of baseball stadiums around the country, their announcers, their play-by-play announcers, the game, following that, they were announcing the entire game like that,
trying to emulate
him.
Well, you know what? It's not about. I mean, it's like it was so simple that it wasn't flashy, but the way he delivered it, after all those years, it was just a part of what made Yankee Stadium Yankee Stadium.
It's kind of like the way Lawrence Tanter makes a Laker game.
Yeah.
His voice is not this flashy. It's kind of like almost monotone, but different.
Very much like Bob Shepard.
Yeah. It's just like, that's what I think about the closest comparison you can make to somebody who's not flashy is Lawrence Tanter, he was also program director of a jazz station for a while here in Los Angeles. Yeah. When 1240 AM, which seems to have the Format of the Month Club, they had Tanter programming it for about a year or two when they were a jazz format.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it. I mean, now it's like, now batting number 2, Derek Jeter. It's like, I can imagine having to do that in the entire game. That would get old.
Well, the Houston Astros, their announcer was Bob Ford. And now, how many flavors are in Baskin-Robbins ice cream?
Oh, God.
But my buddy Dre heard him, and the way my buddy Dre impersonating him made him sound like Yosemite Sam. So now I'm trying to think, did I hear him wrong? Because Dre's impersonation of him sounded just like Yosemite Sam. Now that would be an announcer I'd be interested in hearing at a baseball stadium.
Too funny.
Next time we'll find out how Glen went from sunny Southern California to the Big Apple. And we'll also talk about where he was on one of the saddest days in American history.